What's in your mind for you and for I? I'm trying to decide from the look in your eyes, yeah. I mean besides, but your feelings inside you, I'm missing on my mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 17.
We back.
What's up, man?
It's another week, man.
What's going on, bro? I know, 17 weeks.
Crazy.
Yo, you're listening to Inside the RV. This is a podcast about entrepreneurship, work ethic, self-development, trying to be the best version of yourself. I am your host, Jacob Moore, along with our other host,
Ryan Ramirez.
Boom. Together, we are an artist and artist manager duo. I'm the artist manager. Ryan is the artist. And this Inside the RV podcast kind of chronicles our come up. And we like to take what we learn from some of our, our favorite mentors, quote unquote, and people that we love to listen to, like Andy Frisella and all these other guys, and Ed Milet. So you might hear a lot of stuff kind of recycled from them, but it all applies. You know, we're just trying to chronicle what we're doing in real time. So we appreciate everybody listening.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate it. So today, actually, it's funny because we're not even really talking a ton about like self-development and stuff. So if you're like at the gym or whatever and you're like waiting for us to drop some bombs, sorry. No, I'm just kidding. We're still going to try to drop some bombs, but this episode is geared a little bit more towards music artists. But I think the concepts that we're going to say in terms of using your resources that are around you still apply. And if you want to learn more about the music industry and what Ryan and I do as upcoming artists and artist managers, take a listen. Stay tuned. I think you might like it. But what got me going on this topic is I've been listening to this podcast that I sent to you called Your Morning Coffee, right?
Yeah.
And it's these two guys from the music industry who just know so much. They're so knowledgeable. I don't know exactly what their history is. They've worked at labels and done a bunch of other stuff, but you can go listen to the podcast if you want to. But I was just thinking there are so many great resources for upcoming artists today. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah, there's like no excuse.
Yeah.
To not know, to not learn.
100%. Anytime someone comes up to me and they're just like, oh, but putting out music, it's like, I don't even know how to do this or that. And I'm like, bitch, Google it.
Yeah.
Google it. YouTube it.
Yeah.
Everything I've learned about music production personally, because I've produced my band's records, which we have 3 now out on Spotify. The other one came out a couple days ago. Your song came out a couple days ago too. They came out on the same day. So on a side note, Ryan has a new song called Just Kiss out. Just Kiss, which is out right now. It came out a couple days ago, so go bump it on his Spotify. And then my band released a song. The song's called Dolphins. And yeah, I mean, everything I learned about like producing records and the music industry or whatever, dude, I learned from YouTube.
Hey, shout out Sean Devine.
Yeah. Sean Devine, you get up there, he's like, all right, we're going to take a little bit off this high end right
We're going to roll off a little bit.
Just roll off just a hair. Maybe do some saturation right there. He's got his voice all low. He's got that tone in his voice. And
He's all calm and collect.
Yeah, he's killing it, but he's all calm.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's just so much great information out there. There's a lot of horrible information out there too and stuff, and I'm sure you can talk a little bit about that, and which we'll get into in a second with like vocals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, even though you're going to have to sift through tons of resources, we are so blessed in 2020 to have the internet and to be able to learn. I mean, aside from music, you can go learn about anything you want. You can go learn about quantum physics. There's YouTube channels dedicated just to that.
Yeah.
And I think that's really dope. So that's kind of the premise of this show today. I want to talk about like some of the resources that Ryan and I use. So if you're an up and coming artist, and you use something that you didn't hear on here, like, hey, hit us up on Instagram, tell us like, yo, this is a dope platform for this or that or whatever. Why don't you talk a little bit about, before we get into the resources that we use to help kind of push your career, what's the deal with sifting through bad resources and bad information? Because you kind of have a story with that.
Well, first of all, I think it's better nowadays. Even though there's bad information, I think it's better to have that option of trial and error to learn, rather than have these gatekeepers that you can't really learn anything. Like, before the internet and everything, it was like you didn't know anything about the music industry unless you were like connected. So some people didn't even have the option. But now, even though the internet is here, yes, there's bad advice and everything, but I think it's better to at least have that and to learn through trial and error, like through that bad advice, and then just sift through it that way. So that way you have the option of growing and learning.
Instead of just being stagnant.
Exactly. Instead of not knowing and just dealing with the smoke and mirrors of the music industry. But I've been through a lot of bad advice online. I've been through bad mentors. I wouldn't say bad mentors, but just like Mentors I wasn't compatible with,
Mhm.
but I'd learned that later. I've been through bad vocal lessons and bad vocal teachers that really screwed me up.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I think it's all trial and error,
Mhm.
right? I mean, I think you have to. It's almost good to go through it because it's for me, it's better to know what not to do than to kind of go through and get lucky with the right things.
Okay.
Like I'd rather go through the shit
Hmm.
and then have more knowledge in the long run of knowing like, okay, stay away from these things.
Mhm.
So that way when I can mentor someone or teach someone, I know exactly what to tell them, like, yo, do these things, but also stay away from these things and this kind of advice and shit.
Mhm.
Because I went through that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of like everybody's so opinionated too.
Yeah.
Like it's really easy for anyone to get out on YouTube or Instagram and be like, hey, you should do this, this, and that, and whatever. And so it's real easy to kind of be like misled. But I think you're right. It's like, is it better to have no information at all? Or is it better to kind of have like resources on YouTube or whatever that are subpar and you're like, shit, maybe this will work. Let me try it. I would say the latter.
Yeah,
And you
100%.
kind of take those resources like, maybe this is gonna work, whatever. Like you watched tons of YouTube videos about vocal exercises, right? And how to develop your voice and become a better vocalist and a better singer. And then what happened? Like 90% of the people you watched, like it didn't work for you. It screwed your voice up. Or
But here's a perspective I look on that now. I went through years of shit like dealing with that, but now in the future when, we're doing big tours and everything, I know exactly what not to do.
dope.
So that way I probably have a less likely chance of getting no's or just like unhealthy vocal things because I know I've been through the bad stuff so much and for so long that I know exactly what not to do to stay out of it. So I think there's good in like learning good and bad things about like, vocals or just anything in the music industry or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think there's more power to knowing what to do and what not to do as well.
Totally.
So
Totally.
if you got to go through the shit, then it might be better for you in the long run,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's get into this. I think something really dope that I want to talk about, a cool resource if you're an upcoming artist, is the House of Blues webinars.
Yeah.
I feel like those have been pretty dope.
Yeah,
even,
100%.
even when it's a topic that you and I jump in on and it's like, this may not be like super relevant, whatever. For everybody listening, if you don't know what we're talking about, so the House of Blues, which is the venue owned now, I believe, by Live Nation.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They own or they host weekly webinars through a program they have called the House of Blues Music Forward program, which is where they just like give back to the community and artists and stuff. And they have like pretty big industry executives and artists and producers and people that get on there and they talk about a specific topic, whether it's about touring or whether it's about building your team or what it's like on set and how you can develop a better strategy to produce a better music video or whatever it is. So that's something that like I just found through Instagram like a year ago or whatever. But dude, I feel like I've learned so much and then I send it to you and like you and I probably hop in there maybe once a week, twice a week, every other week, whatever. But yeah, we keep up with it. But dude, that's been like an insanely awesome tool, not only for learning, but like number one, it's free.
Yeah.
It's free and you can hop in and sign up and then it's just a great way to network too.
Yeah,
like, there's
also,
other artists.
get your face out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember telling you, like, let's make sure, like, we turn our videos on every time.
Yeah.
Even if we're, like, just waking up and shit, like, let's make a point to, like, show our face if we can because, we want to get in situations where people will recognize your face.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, I remember that guy from the webinar. I don't remember his name, but I remember seeing him.
Yeah.
I remember him seeing them there. So it's, like, just planting those seeds wherever you can,
Yeah, that's a really dope one. I like that. And that's just one of the few like amazing like free things like YouTube, the fact that you can Google whatever you want. Yeah, I really like the House of Blues webinars. Another thing, this is actually a paid service and I can't afford it. But when we had a free trial for it, this was probably one of the best tools for data aggregation and being able to just look at charts. And I still have a free account on there and I went on there, but Chartmetric.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you and I both had a free account on Chartmetric. So Chartmetric is a music industry data aggregation site. They take like the top songs on TikTok. They take a song, and you can see every playlist that it's on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. It takes all the data, stream data, everything, and it's awesome. I think it's like $1,000 for the year, some shit like that.
I mean, it's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah,
like,
if you can afford it,
that
do
much
it.
info. That's crazy.
If you can afford it, totally do it. And so Ryan and I were able to use Chartmetric to get a lot of insight onto what playlists like similar artists to you were on.
Mm-hmm.
So for one of Ryan's releases, like 1 or 2 releases ago, we went on there and I found like Jacquees, Chris Brown, like a bunch of other people, and I looked at a song, one of their songs each, really similar to what you were releasing, and I went and I tried to look at what playlists those were on, and then it's funny, I actually listened to a podcast today and they were like, don't contact curators or whatever, but I still like, if the contact info is there, I would email the curator and be like, hey, are you interested in like having this on your playlist or whatever. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, man, and so I still have a free account on Chartmetric, and I go on there like weekly just to look at things and see what's going on. It gives you like a quarter of the information, but yeah, I really like Chartmetric.
Wait, so why did they say on that podcast not to contact curators? Just curious.
I think they were talking about editorial curators, like at Spotify.
Oh, like me. Okay.
Yeah, because they were saying that they were out with a curator who worked for Apple Music or Spotify or something, and in like an hour they got like 1,500 emails.
Oh, okay.
Like,
okay.
hey,
that makes sense.
But, yeah, so but
I thought you meant like just like random people like that are curating like their own playlist.
Yeah, I don't think they meant that.
Okay.
I think they meant like don't bombard a Spotify editorial
curator.
curator. Like, hey, put us on, But I'm all for. I see nothing wrong with contacting regular everyday people who are curators,
especially if they take submissions and shit. Like,
yeah. They're like, you can go on Spotify and use their advanced search function and find playlists that have contact info. And if people say like, hey, submit here, like I've contacted a bunch of people and they're like, yeah, we take submissions. It's like, oh, cool, we'll put this on. Dope.
Yeah.
Like, cool.
Sure.
It's a little tedious. I think there are better ways. Playlisting is a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But it's there. You could do that. So another tool that I feel like people aren't, that I think it's kind of strange that like everybody on Spotify doesn't know about, but is Spotify for artists. And the same thing with like Apple Music for artists, and I don't know if Amazon or like Deezer or Tidal or whatever have their own for artists, but Ryan and I are on Spotify for artists like daily.
Like every 20 minutes.
Like every 20 minutes I'm on there like refreshing the streams and shit. No, but Spotify for artists has a if you submit through your distributor, DistroKid or CD Baby or TuneCore or like whatever it's going to be, your track will appear in Spotify for Artists. And Spotify for Artists is the back end to Spotify that allows you to see all your data and stuff. And you can pitch a song to the Spotify editorial team to potentially get on a Spotify playlist. And there's just lots of good data there. You can see every playlist that your song is on. You can see the amount of saves, which is really important. And you can see a breakdown of whether people are listening from your profile or from their own profile, like if they've saved the song. So there's just so much good info.
It's crazy how these like music platforms are like social media platforms now.
What do you mean?
Like, so I would say Spotify is like a social media platform because there's like interaction and there's like
you can have friends.
Yeah, you can have friends and just like private sessions or whatever it is. Like it's crazy how it's turned into like a social media.
Wait, what do you mean private sessions?
So if you go on, I don't know if it's on mobile, but if you go on desktop, you can create a private session or something like that where your friends can't see what you're listening to or whatever. But it's just like, I think it's like random stuff like that.
Okay.
But even like as far as the metrics, like, I mean, I think anything that has analytics like that is like social media because you're like dealing with other people in a way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Private sessions. I'm going to use that next time I stream the audiobook for 50 Shades of Grey. I don't want anyone to know I'm listening, so I'm just going to
the second one.
Go and put that.
The second
yeah, the second one. So this is another tool, probably the most important one. This might be a short episode. Like I just wanted to go and touch on like some things that we use because I feel like you and I are connecting with more like up and coming artists or people who are just interested in music. And by the way, the things we're sharing right now are no secrets.
Yeah, for sure.
Like every resource we've said, like Spotify for artists, Apple Music for artists, Chartmetric, like these are the standard tools. You go to any record label, you go wherever you're going to go, and like this is what everybody looks at.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, I cannot stress this enough, but digital advertising is just huge, specifically Facebook ads. And so I bought a course. I looked at another course. Like I've listened to Rick Barker's podcast. You know, I've listened to like a bunch of podcasts. I've watched Burstimo and all the Damian Keys and Adam. I've watched all the shit, you know what I mean? And I think the one commonality I see when people are promoting music is that they use Facebook ads and Instagram ads. And like I said, hey, everybody, like Ryan and I hope you're not tripping right now, Ryan. Like, oh, fuck, you're giving away a secret or not.
No,
you know?
no,
I'm just kidding, you know?
No.
But yeah, it's like, this is no secret. Just like with any other product or service, you need to advertise to your target audience and you need to give a compelling, emotionally sparking message or whatever that is going to get them to click and take the next step towards your product or service or whatever.
And they're not secrets because, I mean, one thing that I live by is like, don't be afraid to share secrets because 99% of people won't even use them anyways. They won't put in the work.
True.
And I don't say that in a discouraging way. I say that to whoever's listening, like as a motivator, because that motivated me.
Yeah.
When people tell me that, like, oh, like I don't mind giving you a secret because most people won't do it, like 99% of people. So that pushes me to like go harder. So
Yeah.
that's why I said that. But
Yeah.
no,
I get that. That's true.
There ain't no secrets.
Yeah. It's like, you won't even do it. It ain't a secret because you won't do it, bitch. Listeners. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Facebook ads has probably been one of the biggest game changers for Ryan's career. And this is totally coming from like two dudes who are trying to make it in the music industry out of their bedrooms, and Ryan records in this RV, and like we're just two average guys. Okay, we're just two average dudes, and we're building our network, and this isn't anything crazy. Facebook ads has been the number one most effective and cost-effective tool for us, not only bringing in streams, because streams are nothing without a fan base.
Yeah.
Passive streams, it doesn't matter. That's why, like, going back to the playlisting thing, I was like, well, for the most part, I've noticed that playlisting is passive streams. We don't really gain much of a fan base from it, whatever. But basically, I've been toying around with running ad campaigns and learning it myself, like all of 2020. Yeah, for everybody that was sitting in on the during the pandemic, I was sitting at home learning Facebook ads. You know, I was like, what the hell am I going to do 2020? Okay, so I taught myself Facebook ads and bought a course. So semi-taught myself, but so I've ran a campaign for Ryan's songs through Facebook ads we've spent like $20 on a song campaign. We just spent over 100, maybe close to 200 now with the EP, and we're probably going to spend a couple more hundred because it's working really well. But if you're an up-and-coming artist out there and you haven't used Facebook or Instagram ads to tap into your target audience and try to gain a fan base that way, and literally advertise to people. Like, people think music is so different. It's like, artists hate to hear this, but music is a product that is consumed.
And bro, like the mistake I made, I'm not even afraid to say it, like I was so naive because I just thought like, oh, if I put out like a song, like it'll just blow up. Like I'll just put it out, my followers will make it blow up or whatever. And like, I'm that, like the ego in me was like, it's that good that like, it's just gonna like, something's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's so naive because you're just going through the hamster wheel of like the same, however many people that listen to music. Yeah, they might share it like here and there, but in order to really reach out and like get the most out of it, which is what labels do, is like they put money into it. Yeah. It's like reaching more people who don't know about it. So, I mean, that sounds so obvious, but for some reason, like that didn't even occur to me, like in the beginning. You know what I mean?
The harsh truth is that if you think that you're gonna put out a song on Instagram and share it to your 500 followers and somehow it's just gonna catch fire and you're gonna become the next Billie Eilish, you're fucking wrong and stupid and naive. And you're not stupid. I think it's just like blissful ignorance. I'm sorry, that was a little harsh. You're not stupid or anything, but it's just like,
it could happen, but that's like playing the lotto in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like what are your odds doing that? You know what I'm
it's like 0.0000001% of that happening, and you got to remember too, there are millions of great songs that might be probably better than your song released every day. Every single day. So it's like you've got mad competition. You're not putting your music in front of a new audience. You're just kind of sending it to the same people on social media, whatever. Like, that's not how you blow up. It's it's social media engagement plus a million other things like press and playlists and streams and everything, and word of mouth, and there's a million things that go into it. But yeah, to get back to it, Ryan and I, we probably were a little naive for a while, and we were like, yeah, we'll just go hard on social media, and the 800 people that we went to high school with are going to share this with each other, and we're going to blow up, whatever. But Facebook ads basically has allowed us to send an ad to Ryan's target audience or people in his target audience and push his music to new people continuously. You immediately get feedback through data to see if your ads are working. It's extremely cheap. Like for Ryan and I to market his song Just Kiss that came out 2 days ago, we put $150 in it. And let's just be completely honest, $150 isn't shit, dude.
Yeah,
like in
sure.
the grand scheme of things, it ain't shit. And we started off doing campaigns earlier this year for like $20. Like Ryan and I he'd Venmo me $10. I'd deposit it in my account, and then I'd run a Facebook ads campaign for $20. While I was learning how to use the tool and everything. And now I'm stoked to say that we're getting like really good results. I wish we just had like thousands of dollars to put into it.
100%.
But yeah, Facebook ads has been huge. So we advertise his music on Facebook and Instagram. If you're an artist, you got one of two options. You can learn it yourself, or you can find someone to do it for you. If you have a manager or someone who's willing to do it for you, that's dope. If you have the money to pay someone, I just say pay someone and focus on being an artist. Like Ryan focuses on being an artist, and then I run the ads and stuff, so we specialize in that. But I've seen more growth in Ryan's Spotify following, like Instagram and Facebook engagement, just real people. And that's the difference too. This isn't like paying to be on like some bullshit playlist or something. It's like you're advertising to real people who have shown an interest in your type of music.
Yeah.
So they're
exactly.
so it's real people. And like, I mean, your song has been out for 2 days and it's almost at 4,000 streams. I think probably by the end of the podcast, it's like, 10 o'clock right now? It's probably going to be at about 4,000. So that's like 2,000 a day. And at the end of the week, ideally, it's going to be at like 10,000. And for Ryan and I, that's like the most streams he's ever gotten in a short period of time.
For sure, yeah.
And on top of that, his following is going, like in the first day, he gained like 50 new Spotify followers, and then people are actually commenting on your ads and you're commenting back. And there's just so much good shit that comes out of it. So I think in terms of like the best bang for your buck, if you're a music artist, is fuck paying for playlist placement, even Submit Hub, because at the end of the day, like I said, I don't think playlists really show or really turn out an active listening base for an artist. I think it's just kind of passive listeners. You rack up streams, sure.
Plus, most of them are like 4 hours long and shit. It's like,
yeah.
What are the odds that they're gonna get to your song like in that playlist?
Exactly, exactly. And you never know if like a playlist is like bullshit with their followers. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the greatest, most cost-effective bang for our buck tool that has gotten him like in all areas just more fan engagement and more listeners and real people and a bigger fan base is Facebook ads.
I think playlists, like getting into playlists, was way more like beneficial like a couple years ago, like when Spotify was like just booming, like just starting to boom. You know what I mean? Because then like people, like the people who caught on early to that, when they got on a playlist, they probably like took off with that. But now it's like saturated. Like everyone's like trying to get into playlists. And like I said, there's like 5 hour long playlists and shit. So it's like, yeah,
man. So I think the last thing that I want to talk about, if you're an artist, is, I mean, at least for us, is just using your network. That is like the greatest resource ever. I think that Ryan said this before, the people you need in your life are closer than you think. And you never know if your aunt's best friend or your cousin's softball coach's daughter or whatever works in the music industry or whatever. It doesn't cost a penny to call your uncle or call your grandpa and say, hey, I'm trying to build a career in the music industry, or call a teacher that you used to know, or if you're cool with your neighbor, walk down the road. Oh, your neighbor works at a bank, but you know their cousin is the tour manager for whatever. You know, so like that kind of happened to me. Like it turns out my cousin was really good friends with a pretty big tour manager, and he connected us. And like I just thought that was dope. I was like, what the hell? This was so like
it's a small world too.
Yeah, it's a small world, and the music industry I'm coming to realize is super small.
Yeah, 100%.
Like super small. So those are the big things is, you know, those House of Blues webinars are awesome. If you can get on Chartmetric, that's a good way to kind of get like data insight. Spotify for artists and Apple Music for artists, crucial. And then of course, like it's such a simple thing that I feel like it's overlooked, but like your network is bigger than you think, especially if you went to college. Like I went to college and sometimes I think like, oh shit, there are people that I've talked to like a handful of times, but I could probably hit them up on LinkedIn and be like, yo, I'm trying to build in the music industry. Who do you know? Could
Yeah,
you
for sure, yeah.
You know?
Those
Yeah.
people are happy to help too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, too, like aside from the marketing stuff, as far as the music, sometimes when you're the artist, you gotta be able to look in the mirror, not literally the mirror, but like look at yourself, and sometimes your song is just not good enough. I have to, I got to deal with that too sometimes. I think like even if like the song's good, but the mix is like not at the commercial level, or like the production is at the right level, or the writing's off, or like you got to be able to look at yourself and remember that the main thing is like the product.
Yes.
So yes, the marketing is like 100% important for sure, very important, but it all starts with the song. How good is your song? Because you can market the shit out of a song that's like whack, and you could throw $100,000 in it, but if it's not dope, it's not dope to people. So
Yeah.
it all starts with that song. So, which is something that I had to learn. My ego was kicking in early on, like, oh, I'm a great writer, like I'm a great vocalist or whatever. Like my songs are awesome, but it's like, okay, when you compare it, when you put it in a playlist with these songs that are in the editorial playlist, is it really hitting the same? Like yes or no? So that's something I continue to try to grow in, like to constantly just work on my craft and just make sure the songs are getting better, the vocals are getting better, the production, the mixing, everything. And then on top of that, all the Facebook ads and the marketing shit is the next important part for sure.
You can't polish a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You can't take a shit ass song, and no matter how much money you put into it, it's like if people don't like it, they don't like it.
Yeah.
Or if it's not competitive with what's on, global top 50 or whatever, sorry. Sorry. Because I don't know how many songs are getting uploaded to Spotify a day. I think it's like a couple 100,000 or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like, man, and yeah, that's probably the biggest thing that like you and I have learned is if you're really going out there and you're trying to you're competing with Drake.
Yeah.
You're competing with Ed Sheeran and Chris Brown and like Jay Biebs and the heavy hitters. Like, people don't like to admit that, but sometimes you really got to look at it and be like, damn, I'm in a business and I'm in an industry where it's a meritocracy, and the best song wins. The best
for sure.
production, the best artist wins. That's it. Consumers don't bullshit you. If someone thinks a song's whack, they will drag you through the fucking mud on social media.
now because it is art. I mean, there's no fine line. Like obviously, someone can be like, I don't like Drake, but then they fuck with my music.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone's different, but there's a line where you gotta be honest with yourself and say, is it hitting right? Like the same. I think like you can tell. You can tell if it's like competitive. That's the right word, competitive, or like commercial level. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's tricky though, because there's no rules.
Yeah,
But-
and I think it goes for any genre or whatever. Like whether you're making rock music or rap music, like everybody knows rap is the hottest thing out right now, but that doesn't mean that you can't go out there and make a phenomenal rock song that blows up.
Yeah, sometimes like there's artists where the song's okay, but like the visual like set it off. Like the music video just took it off, and like just the artist, like the image of the artist just like really set the tone for it and made it cool.
Yeah.
So
It's everything.
there's no rules. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think the main point is like you just gotta stay humble and like keep trying to get better. Like, okay, am I competitive? And like not beat yourself up about it, but just keep going and like know, like just don't ever think like I'm ready to take over the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta always leave yourself room to grow.
Yeah.
Or else you're just gonna stay stagnant.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think that's a segue. That is a
Okay.
perfect segue into our next segment. There it is. We got the soundboard, guys. I don't know if anyone knew that, but yeah, we got the soundboard now. So hey, check it out.
Let me hear the fire.
The fire. Are you ready for the next segment? So now that we got all that out of the way, we experiment with the different segments and we talk a bunch of shit about different stuff. But this is something new. I didn't even tell you about it. I want each of us to share a song that speaks to us, that we love for some reason. And I have one on my mind that's not even close to what like I'm into heavy metal and stuff, but I have one on my mind. But you go first.
Well, if you already have one, you go first so I can think.
I think a song that just speaks to me, that is an unbelievably, first off, well-produced, well-written, absolute hit, The artist, she's phenomenal. I think you know what I might say. She's phenomenal. She's beautiful.
Okay,
He knows. Yeah, he knows.
she said beautiful.
She's beautiful. She has an amazing voice. A great performer. She's backed by a major label. Like in terms of the whole like commercial package, like that's
She's
it.
it.
She's it, and it's Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
She's killing it.
Yeah.
And the song is New Rules.
That's crazy.
Oh my God, bro.
That's crazy.
Just from the intro, one.
Yeah,
and then and the build, and I think it was so unique. Like first off, the production on it is extremely obviously like it's top tier commercial, like competitive, just great production. It smacks out of any speakers that I listen to. Her vocal takes are just so powerful and so like that's another thing about vocal takes. And so for everybody listening to this too, I'm not just some business guy talking out of his asshole. Like I make records with my band and stuff, and so we've like tracked it out. So I have some experience with this. Like I produce the records that my band makes with them. So we do Logic on my we do Logic. We open the Logic session on my computer, and we all put in work and mix and master it and stuff. So yeah, one thing I love about that song is like the vocal takes. She's in character. They're talking in my sleep at night, making my and she's like in it. And that's another thing is like sometimes I'll hear music from upcoming artists and I'm like that the delivery, like you being the character, you just didn't give it your all.
And sell it. Yeah.
You did, yeah, exactly. You gotta sell it. Like when YG walks into the studio, like he's got a bottle in his hand, the bandana on, and he's in it.
You can hear it in the song.
Yeah, and you can hear. That's the thing is once you put it on the record, it's like it's not changing. So you need to be in character or whatever it is, and really give it your all. But yeah, New Rules by Dua Lipa. I think that it's really well written. I think it's 3 choruses and a bridge, and it just is a perfectly like well composed song. And I think it was so unique how they lead into the chorus with that like sample that's like it's kind of got this like I don't want to say like EDM or like dance music vibe, but like when that chorus comes in, they do like that roll with that sample. It's like, and they have like the cymbal come in like on the upbeat or the offbeat or whatever it is. Like it's just those the nuances.
The production's unbelievable.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, that song is the shit. And yes, I will rock out to Dua Lipa in my car. I don't give a shit. It's badass. So
and he'll daydream about her too.
Yeah.
Mine's kind of a random song.
All right.
It's a song called "This Way" by Chris Brown. It's on his album "Heartbreak on a Full Moon," which is like it's like a random album, but it's probably one of my most favorite albums of all time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think most people would say that about the album, but for some reason, the album just like catches me. Like, and it's 45 songs, whatever. But anyways, the song "This Way." What I like about that song is the structure of that song is very like commercial hit, which I'm surprised it wasn't like one of the most popular songs on the album. It's more like a deep cut, but there's something about the structure of that song that just like I'm a sucker for just like melodies that just contrast and like melodies that come together in a resolving way and they match up and like it's just like very pop, very pop structure. And the vocal, his vocal performance is always A1 in that. I think Jason Joshua mixed it, and the mix is unbelievable. I'm just sitting here like on my speakers listening to it, and it just like hits, bro. Like it just sounds perfect. And I like how he put the falsetto in the hook, because I love to do that myself. So like I connected with that. But one thing I love about Chris Brown is that he is very versatile, and even though he's known as like an R&B cat, you know what I'm saying?
He one of them R&B cats, you know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah. But he can really pull off like the pop stuff, and like I think that's where I see myself being. Like I see myself doing like R&B pop, hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like in that lane. So, the versatility is unreal, and you can hear it in that song too. It's a pop song, but his R&B roots come out. And it's just swag. Like it's swag. It's pop, but it has swag. Like the pop songs that are kind of like straight up pop, I don't really connect with. But the ones that just have that edge, but still the pop structure, like that just like that hits on another level for me. So that song definitely like when I first heard it, it actually reminds me of Vegas. When we went to Vegas for my 21st birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember on the drive home, I was listening to that song like over and over and over and over again. Because like we had such a great trip. And that song is just such a feel good song. Like when I was driving home, like it connected with the trip.
Yeah.
And it's just like was like perfect. So I feel like anytime like something connects with like a memory, a song, like it just always like brings it to like a 20 out of 10.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Was that 2 years ago we went to Vegas?
2 years ago. Yeah, because that was it'll be 2 years like by the end of this month.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Ryan's birthday's at the end of this month, guys. And if you're listening, his EP is releasing at the end of this month, too.
Yes, sir. And then this guy's birthday is right after, December 17th.
You remembered.
You're like, don't tell them.
He's a good friend. Yeah, 24, baby. Ryan's going to be 23. I'm going to be 24. So hopefully by the next year, we can say that we're multimillionaires and killing it in the music industry and everything, man. But that's amazing. Music is awesome, dude.
It is, yeah.
Like, even after, if we have a shitty-ass day or whatever, or like, some business shit didn't work out or I'm just having a bad day or whatever, I'll just get in my car and listen to Creed and I just get in there and drive around. I'm like, oh, this is awesome, dude.
Think of the last day that you can think of in your life to where you didn't play at least one song in that day. Can't think of it, huh?
Yeah, June 17th, 2004.
But for real, like, I don't remember the last time I've not played at least one song.
Yeah.
Like, there were days where like I don't feel like listening to music at all, but I at least play one song at some point of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't live without music.
Yeah. I like this segment.
Yeah.
I have like 20 more songs in my head where I'm like, the production on this, I love the writing on this, whatever. But, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, Pooh Bear Giver?
I'm a giver. Yeah, Pooh Bear Giver.
That shit's crazy.
That song's insane, bro. That song's insane. All right, are you ready for the next segment, my man? Ryan?
Yes. Yeah,
you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's get ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got some Metallica in the building, yeah. We're gonna do some rapid fire questions right now. Are you ready, Rye Guy? Oh, he's getting it. Oh, he's going Tommy Lee on everybody. If you watch videos of Ryan performing like in our band at like the talent show and shit, he's like flipping the stick, like spraying water out of his mouth on everybody. The crowd was like 30 feet from us and he still was like spraying out water.
And Jacob was like tapping on the guitar and shit.
Yeah. If that asshole in the YouTube comment. Some guy commented on our video of us playing Crazy Train when we were in middle school. This asshole commented this like 8 years ago, and he said, learn how to finger tap. I did learn how to finger tap on my
He's
guitar.
He's in the 7th grade.
Yeah, I'm 13, bro. Oh, man. Oh, geez. All right. We got rapid fire questions for boys. Okay. These are all kind of random. I don't know. Let's see. Which historical figure wins the award for being the most hardcore?
Wait, say that again.
Which historical figure wins the award for being most hardcore?
This isn't rapid, but I can't even think of anything.
Let's go.
I'm thinking like presidents and stuff. Like
I know, right? I'm out here thinking like Thomas Jefferson and shit.
Abraham Lincoln. He seems like he'd be a badass.
All right, who's your celebrity crush?
Becky G.
Who the hell? Never mind. Who do you think should make the first move, the guy or the girl?
Guy, always.
100%. Would you rather be considered sexy or smart?
Sexy.
What's your favorite feature on a guy/girl?
On a guy,
On a girl.
A girl. Favorite feature. I'll take a pretty face over anything.
He's a good man. You know what? I'm not superficial. I'll take a personality. I'll take the heart. Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant physical features.
No, I'm just fucking with you, bro. I'm just kidding. What are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of my catalog.
I love that. Do you believe in ghosts?
No, but I believe in spirits though. Is that if that's what you mean?
Anywho, have you overcome one of your fears?
Definitely.
What are the saddest, most beautiful lyrics you've ever heard? Saddest/most beautiful.
Saddest, most beautiful. I don't remember like the exact lyrics, but it was a song called "Kind and Generous." I think Natalie Merchant's her name. It's just like a sad ass song.
I love that. What is one food you wouldn't want to give up?
Pizza.
You get $1 million. What do you buy right now?
I buy a complex to start renting out.
My man, hey, he's financially literate. That's badass. If you had access to a time machine, where and when would you go?
Probably the 80s.
Hell yeah, bro.
Because I feel like we missed out on the 80s. Like I feel
Yeah.
like we would have really enjoyed just like the
Yeah.
scene. You know what I mean?
We walk into the whiskey, do some heroin with Nikki Sixx for a little bit, take some shots, and yeah, man, cool.
We
All
look
right.
like girls.
We'd be wearing spandex and shit. I don't know how many I asked you. I literally just scrolled up and down this
okay.
page. So
You just found like the cool ones.
yeah, so hit me with some.
Okay. If you could win any award, what would it be and why?
Probably I would win the award for most handsome just because I'm a really humble guy.
Made no sense. How do you like your steak cooked?
Medium.
I'm trying to find good ones. Hold on. Was that 2?
Yeah.
Where would you visit if you had the chance?
Ireland. I think we already talked about that.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was one of the ones. Anywho, yeah.
Okay. It says hard or soft.
You hitting on me?
All right, let's do another one. That's weird. Let's see.
Rapid fire.
What
my
do you
guy.
think of when I say fruit?
Bananas.
Okay. This is an important one.
Okay.
Do you always wear your seatbelt?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I think. Never mind. Rapid fire. Go ahead.
Okay. Any pet peeves?
Yeah, when cable management, bro. When people don't wrap up their cables.
Okay.
And shit.
I think that was like 6. What do you think of people with tattoos?
I think tattoos can be really dope. You're like, yeah, they can be. I think tattoos can be really dope. Some people absolutely kill it and look just dope with tattoos. I think I would look fucking weird with a tattoo.
Okay. I don't think so. I think you would look dope.
So I'm gonna get my face tatted then.
Get one right here.
Yeah.
That was 7. Has your world ever been rocked?
Yeah. By her. No, I'm just kidding. Sure.
Have you ever been in love?
Yes.
Okay.
To the game.
Okay. What is success?
Success is achieving the vision that you have set out for your life.
Okay. Last time you were emotional?
Today.
Okay.
I'm always emotional, man. I always express it. I think that's a good one. That's a good one to
That
cut
was
it.
That was it.
Man. Yeah. Hey, everybody, check it out. So we got a bunch of guests lined up for the podcast, artists and other people in the industry and stuff. So we're going to kind of get into that stuff. But Ryan and I are still plugging away on everything, still trying to make it out here in this industry. And yeah, we're going to be back with a ton of new episodes, just with like guests, more stuff on like self-development and work ethic. But I kind of like that we're like diversifying it a little bit, you know, but yeah, we're definitely going to get back to a lot of the like work ethic type stuff. 'Cause man, there's a lot of shit that we've been doing and going through, and I feel like a lot we've learned. So,
Yeah. Also, DM us like what you want us to talk about too. Like if you're a listener and you're like you've been wanting for us to like just talk about something, like hit us up.
yeah, at JACXB Moore, at Ryan Ramirez Official, Jacob at DensityMGMT.com, and here we go. Round of applause, everybody. Episode 17. Peace out.
in your mind, for you and for I'm trying to decide when I look in your eyes, yeah, yeah. I mean besides, but your feelings inside you. I'm losing on my mind and my spirit, babe.